Tottenham Hotspur were everyone's favourite team last season. Some people hated the fact they were favourites. Other people took advantage of the fact that they were favourites. And I think they were a little bit found out towards the second half of the season because a lot of their players also picked up injuries. This high-line business that we adored kind of got to a point where people were going, it is a little bit ridiculous now. They shipped 61 goals. What do you make of Spurs this season?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were a breath of fresh air last year, particularly for the first half of the season. I thought Ange came in, I thought they were playing fantastic football. But as you mentioned, you can't play like that in the Premier League for the whole season and not expect to concede a ridiculous amount of goals, 61 goals.
Scored 74 goals, as I said, shipped 61, top for progressive passes, second for average possession, a young core in the side. Archie Gray's been brought in, players like Van der Ven, Udogie, Sarr, very impressive last season. But then I think their form was probably epitomised by Maddison, who had a purple patch at the start of the season. Second half of the season, he was really just wasn't at it. You're an Arsenal fan. You don't like Tottenham. You don't like Ange.
Is it that obvious?
Where are you at with Spurs? Because obviously, I think last season you didn't like the Ange ball hype, did you?
So I felt that in the first half of the season, Spurs were the great entertainers, the side that everybody wanted to tune in to watch because they were bringing great entertainment value, right? They were incredibly brave in terms of the way they attacked teams, and I think at times naive defensively. Now, this is in the first half of the season when I said on multiple occasions that this is all well and good and they're building a foundation and they're creating an identity under Ange, and it must feel like a real breath of fresh air after just watching an Antonio Conte Spurs and before that a Jose Mourinho Spurs. You need to calm down a little bit and figure out that you need a greater balance than what you're currently showing, because in time you will get found out. And they did. And the second half of the season, I think, proved that. I don't think Dominic Solanke is the answer.
What would you say is the answer? Because there isn't many number 9s out there, aside from Haaland, Harry Kane. Arsenal don't have a 9. Liverpool don't really have a 9. United don't have a 9. So there isn't actually many players available. Solanke's surely the best of the bunch.
Does it need to be an out-and-out 9, though, would be my question. Because of how fluid their style is, I just wonder if they were better off maybe spreading that money across 2 attacking signings with a bit more flexibility to give them the ability to freshen things up a little bit. With Solanke, my issue with him is that, yes, he's done good things in the past, but in terms of actually doing it to a good level in the Premier League, there's only one season on record where he's actually been in the conversation as one of the better strikers. So there's not that much evidence. He's 26 years old and you're about to drop in excess of £60 million on him. I just wonder if that money could have been better spent for Spurs. That would be my question.
And I think when Ivan Toney's been quite blatant about the fact that he wants to leave Brentford, I cannot understand why Ange isn't just throwing the entire checkbook at him. He's an unbelievable player. I think he's one of the best strikers in the league. I think he far eclipses Solanke in pretty much all attributes and what he's managed to achieve. Obviously didn't come on as much as maybe we would have liked for England, but when he did his job and he did it with composure. I'm really, really surprised that they haven't gone all out for him.
I wonder about whether that's more to do with character.
100%.
Ivan Toney has had issues off the pitch. I think Ange has said plenty of times that he prefers a more harmonious group than potentially a slightly more toxic environment. And you said you've interviewed him before and he comes across as someone that, he wants to bring everyone together. I wonder if Tony's character is maybe the problem for him.
Yeah, I think that would be the big turn-off when it comes to Ivan Toney. And I think a lot of clubs feel that way.
Because Arsenal were aggressive.
Exactly, yeah. I think a lot of clubs feel that way about Ivan Toney. Now, what he did in the past, he did it. He served the punishment. That's it. That should be pushed aside for me. There's no point in constantly punishing someone that they've already paid for something they've already paid the price for. But in terms of his character, I don't think he's the type of guy that you want to bring into your group. Now, it's difficult for us to say because we don't know him personally. We've only seen snippets, clips, but just the way he's been talking about wanting to get out of Brentford so publicly, so blatantly, that doesn't strike me as the kind of loyal guy that you want to then bring into your football club. And I think that's a big problem.
I kind of agree. And I think, that what he's mentioned about Brentford, and there have been a few viral clips as well, they haven't been absolutely, they haven't shone his name in glory. But I do think when it comes to strikers, there is a thin line between confidence and arrogance. And potentially he crosses that line. But I think that just speaks to how confident he is of his own abilities. He knows that he should be playing for a team in and around the Champions League, in and around the top of the Premier League. And I don't think that we don't know enough about his character to suggest that that's why Ange isn't going for him. But I also think that he is the best striker on the market at the moment who could be bought for a reasonable price.
He only got one or two goals after coming back though midway through last season. So it's not like he came back, really showed everybody what Brentford had been missing, and sort of made the claim to say, big clubs come and get me. So I think a combination of that, his character, the problems in the past, and the fact that Brentford aren't willing to drop their asking price, as far as we're aware at the moment, probably just means it's not quite the right fit for someone like Tottenham.